Hello, gentlemen, and welcome back to Atari Vault. Today we're going to be playing Night Driver, which I can only assume is probably an early version of Spy Driver, or I actually don't remember what that was called. The driving game. And we've played another variation of driving game. Also, it uses a weird mouse-like controllers, trackball, I guess you would call it. Let's look at the manual here. So, Night Driver. Paddle controller. Okay, so you're in the driver's seat and the track is just ahead of you on the television screen. Your car is permanently fixed at the bottom of the screen. All you have to do is accelerate and steer the car through one of the 4 tracks. Okay, so it's kind of like the one where we did for the vaccine for the world, except not. Each time you veer off the track and hit one of the pylons or hit an oncoming car, a similarly crash lean will appear on the screen. Okay, it's a good idea to quickly read these instructions. Okay, so the knob on your paddle controller is the steering wheel, and the red button is your accelerator. Be sure to hold the control with the red button to the left. You must press the button to accelerate and start the action. Try to avoid hitting the pylons either side of the road. Yeah, that makes sense. Don't use maximum acceleration through the course of the track. Instead, let off slightly or even all the way as you wind through tight turns and difficult spots on the track. So there are no brakes. No brakes because you only have one button. Okay, that's fair. Right difficulty switch on the controls on the console controls the maximum speed which your car will travel. Okay, A position the car will travel the fastest, and the B position the maximum speed will be lower. Beginners should start with it in the B position. Okay. Left difficulty switch will act as a warning device. Oncoming cars will not honk before they appear on the screen if it's on. Okay. Games 1, 2, 3, and 4 are timed. 5, 6, 7, 8 have no time limit. When you play for an indefinite period of time, will not be a clock counting down the screen. Really? So you just keep going? There's no, like, win condition? Okay, so 1 and 5 are the easiest. 2 and 6 are medium. And 3 and 7... Why 3 and 7? Okay, so even though Novice Pro and Expert are progressively more difficult, each track will always follow a fixed course. Makes it possible to eventually memorize the track as your driving skill increases. Yeah, okay. Random track for 4 and 5 follows a different course each time, making it challenging for the most skilled players. Interesting. They actually did like a random generation? Or does it randomly cycle through Novice, Pro, and Expert? I would guess the latter, but if they actually made it like dynamic, that'd be incredible. In which case, we're going to totally go for random, right? Yeah, 90-second game, random. Top speed, we'll start with slow, sure. And we'll say the oncoming cars honk. Why not? Okay, let's go. The car looks weird, but alright. I need to hold down the button in order to accelerate. I also can't seem to move. Oh, no, I moved to the right. I like to move to the left now. How do I move to the left? No, not too far to the left. What the? Game, I like to move to the left, please. Okay, what stick should I use? Oh, I need to use the actual sticks. I'm using the D-pad. That is not working for me. No, don't. Okay, we're not gonna crash. We crashed. This is a harder game than you might think, okay? Because the control scheme is different for driving than any other driving game or any other game in the collection, and I keep crashing into it. Fortunately, we have infinite number of lives. Unfortunately, you do not want to hold down on the A button, but if you don't hold down on the A button, you just stop. So that's weird. And we're gonna keep crashing into pylons until I move more to the right. Oh no, except for the right, we also crash into a pylon. Okay, move. Not crash in the house or the pylon. What the actual hell? We're gonna crash into the car. Or it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. How is the car not? I mean, this is almost a turn-based. Oh, we just crashed into the car. The car dead forever. Yep. Okay. Let's not go for 90-second game. Get for no time limit random. I want to go as far as we go. Okay, so maybe going faster is better? I mean, now that I have kind of an idea of what the control scheme is. Nope, not better. Okay, it keeps track of your crashes up there. I'm hoping that there is an actual, like, endpoint. Okay, no big deal. Just fine. Just crash into this stuff. It's not exactly Burnout here, but I can see where Burnout will get its influences from. Okay, go to the... No, nope. We're gonna... Yeah, there's no way to avoid a crash there. How was I supposed to avoid a crash? Also, are we going on, like, domestic roads here? Are we on a residential street? And we're racing? It just seems like a bad idea. Is there a good lore reason why we're doing this? Okay, just... I don't know, man. This game seems to have come out... Wow, the hell was I supposed to avoid that? Game seems to have come out before the other racing game we played, which was alphabetically first. I guess playing it in chronological order would be an interesting thing to do, too. So you see the progression of games slowly over time. And I mostly say that because the pylons are actually really hard to distinguish when they move too fast. Okay, keep going. Nope, pylon just ruined us. And pylon ruined us again. I'm just drifting too far to the right. Not too far to the left because I wanted to avoid the car. I actually avoided the car. That one I didn't, though. He's dead on the side of the road. Well, nobody liked him anyway. He was a mean person. Okay, just don't. Okay, if I actually treat this as like a turn-based game, how was I supposed to avoid that car? How was I supposed to avoid that car? I don't understand. Okay, we have apparently some kind of momentum that keeps with us. So I can only turn so far. We have 20 crashes under our belt now, boys. How did I avoid that? I don't know, but this car I'm not going to be able to avoid. It's just not possible. It's not possible. You have to crash into it. And then crash in the next pylon because that's the way it goes. Is there actually an end to this road ever? I don't know, man. We've crashed 35 times. That's pretty nuts. 36 times. They'd totally retire us from NASCAR for crashing 36 times, I'm pretty sure. Somehow we avoided that car. Okay. I mean, we should compare, like, the novice tracks. Okay, so you know what? This might be like an expert track. Oh, nope. Okay, just die forever. Alright, fine. And crash into him. Well, now he's just smoking wreck on the road. And nobody liked that house anyway. It was an eyesore in the neighborhood, to be honest. Really, I'm doing the neighborhood a favor. And it's gone forever. Okay. What the actual hell, though? There is actually, like, an end to this course, though, right? Or does it actually go on forever? It might go on forever. The trouble also is that we seem to be progressively moving uphill, which means we can never see how far the road is going to go until we're almost on top of it. That's not how uphill roads work, but I'm going to pretend that's how that works. Somehow we avoided that car. Are we getting better? Maybe? Nope. 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 Just crashed again. I mean, just because you crash in this game does not mean that you're bad at video games, but it might be indicative of a future problem. So are we honking at the car, or are the cars honking at us? I would think the cars would honk at us, but we're the one passing them. And it seems like if you're speeding along a road, you're probably going to be the asshole who's honking at the cars that you're passing by, right? Or the cars that you're passing going, hey, jerkwad, you're moving too fast for this residential street. You know, my kids play on this road. Why are you trying to go 70 miles an hour? And that's actually a fair question, I think. I don't know why we're racing on this road. Alright, I just gotta let up on the acceleration a little bit. Make sure we're not gonna crash, but maybe that's a bad option. Maybe we should go as fast as we can. No, we shouldn't, because we just crashed into a pylon. Not into a car, though. Almost into that house, but, you know, they wanted to remodel anyway, so, again, just doing them a favor. Saving them the construction work of, you know, doing the demolish. I think, you know, they'll probably appreciate the time saved once they think about it. They'll go, you know, thank goodness that guy crashed into my house. That's not something you usually say, but no, these guys will totally say it. Because they wanted to remodel their kitchen was in front of their house, and that's where I went in, you know? No one was eating at the time. I didn't kill anybody. Hopefully. You know, their dog, but that barely counts. mean, we haven't crashed into any trees yet, which I'm kind of surprised by, but... Okay, another pylon. These pylons, you know, I gotta question the civic engineers who designed this road. Because what are you thinking, man? What are you thinking? Why would you make the pylons this short together? Also, these roads are winding, okay? And if we actually loop around, we're actually at like 121 crashes now. That's pretty nuts. We will eventually, maybe there is no, since there's no time limit, maybe it's just as far as you can get, but how would you measure success? I'm confused by this game on multiple levels. I mean, I kind of get the cars, maybe we're honking at the car. That's fair. But there's no, I mean, this is a racetrack, but I guess it's called Night Driver, because we're driving at night, like 70 miles an hour. No wonder the cars are honking at us. It's like, dude, don't you realize it's like nighttime now? You're going down this residential road, it's a bunch of houses, you know, with your engine roaring. That's rude, man. There might be babies in those houses trying to sleep. Or just regular people trying to sleep. You don't know. You know what they're trying to do. Try to be, you know, at least a little bit respectful. Okay, you know what? I don't think it's a race. I think it's just going down the road. Which is a weird... Oh, just horribly crashed in that pylon next to the house. I'm sure that means that they can expand their property line. I'm sure that's exactly how that works. Yeah, we're just crashing into everything now. Okay, so timer I think is a better option because then at least the game has an end. But not having a timer is just weird. Because then it just goes on forever. There's no end to this game. Will you get better? Maybe? But it also might mean that the game is procedurally generating the racetrack as we go, which is pretty cool. Or we could be going around a circle and I have no idea. I mean, there's no real landmarks to be able to tell whether or not we're going around a circle. We could be. We could also be just going off in random directions entirely. I mean, it's also weird there's no intersections on this road, so what is like a highway, I guess it could be. There's some highways that border like residential areas. It's kind of weird and bad for the people in the residential areas, but it's possible. It could work. Okay, you know what? We're going to change game modes now. Sure, 90-second game, novice. Yes. So we're going to see what the difference is between the novice road. It'd be funny if it's just mostly straight. No, it's not. It's not. We definitely don't want to accelerate the whole time. I'm actually crashing more on the novice game. Someone keep track of how many crashes I've done. So I think we might almost be approaching the 200 mark here, which will basically, I mean, be even a little bit better than our golf scores, but not by much. I mean, imagine if Burnout pulled this shit on you, you know? At least Burnout understands draw distance. This game does not understand draw distance. We're constantly going uphill, but we're facing down like we would if we were either going downhill or going down a straightaway. Either way is bad. Draw distance is a thing you should be aware of. But come on. I mean... Yeah, so the game just ends arbitrarily when the timer counts down. Timer doesn't stop counting when you crash, and I think that's also bullshit. Somehow we avoided that car. How did we avoid that car? I guess the cars despawn just before they hit the edge or something? No, because that one didn't. So maybe it moved out of the way, or I moved out of the way, or I'm not exactly sure what happened there. But see, that car I did not move out of the way for, and we still managed to dodge it. Okay, really? Really gonna make a turn like that, civil engineers? You know what dynamite's for? Dynamite's for making straightaways. That's what it's for. And okay, yeah, you might argue that somebody actually owns that road, or owns that property, but I dispute that. I think if the government needs it, they should take it. That's not exactly a hard and fast rule, I mean. But, I don't know, it seems like the government would know better than you as to whether or not your property could be better used for something else. And I understand, you know, it's your property, and they definitely need to pay you a fair market value for it. I was just drifting too far to the right there. What the hell? This is a weird game. It's a weird game. I don't understand it. I mean, I understand it. I understand what they're doing. It's a driving game. Might be one of the first driving games ever Or at least ever on the home consoles. I can't imagine this predated the driving game in the arcades, but maybe? And then a weird static sound, which I'm guessing is supposed to be the tires squealing. One thing we can't tell, though, is which way the tires are facing. Also, what the hell is up with our car, I just realized. Is this supposed to be the front of our car? I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's supposed to be our steering wheel. Maybe we're actually not in a car. Maybe this is a motorcycle. I'm drifting all over the place here, trying to not die. Is it possible to get through the game without crashing once? I don't think so. What the hell is up with the car way over there? Did we actually do like a hard right or something? And the game is actually modeling that? That's incredible if that's true. Okay, that was pro. Or we do random. 90-second game random. Sure, why not? There's only 8 models there. Okay. Let's go. And when we initially start off, you start off really fast, right? But that's only like the first straightaway, and then... Oh, yeah. Okay. Minimize the number of crashes. That is not helping. Minimize the number... Oh, my God. Somehow that only counts as 1, though? No, it counted to 2. Or... No, that counter's not the number of crashes. That counter... No, maybe it is. What does that counter... I think that counter is number of cars. Is that true? Number of cars? I think so, because the counter only increments when there are cars on the screen. Here I thought it was incrementing per crash. Well, that's a weird... No, okay, then now it's suddenly incrementing. So, okay, maybe that's our score? That might be our score, which doesn't count number of crashes. It counts like milestones. That's got to be it. It's milestones. So that's how you keep track of your score. Okay, so there's actually a progress you can measure against. You can say, okay, I'm doing better because I have a score of like 75 or whatever. You only have a score of 63. You scrub. I could see that. Okay. 63 on a 90-second course sounds crazy talk, though. Sounds a lot like crazy talk. I don't think it's possible. That's a lot of cars. I'm just holding down the acceleration key. I know the game says not to do that, but I seem to have better success when we're just going fast. And the turns aren't too sharp. That was a totally sharp turn. I think that was my fault. I don't think that was my fault. Okay. So let's do expert then. Not no time limit. 90-second expert. Go. Now that I know that's our score, not the number of crashes, that's totally different. Oh, that is too sharp of a turn, game. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? Also, why would you only face north when you're on an eastbound road, okay? That is not safe. That is not safe at all, so we can't be a motorcycle driver. What are we in, a snowplow? No, there can't be a snowplow. A bulldozer? Now that explains why we wouldn't take much damage. It might also explain the shape of our car. I mean, it says night driver. Maybe we're driving a bulldozer down to a construction site, and that has to be done at night. I could see that. But, you know, there's a reason why bulldozers don't go 50 miles an hour. Because they'd be bad at it. You know, you might actually be able to get to that speed in a bulldozer. I don't know. I've never driven a bulldozer. But it doesn't seem like that would steer very well. Seems like, you know, it doesn't, not like you're able to drift in a bulldozer. Although that would be a sight to see. I would pay to see that. Could you... No, you can't drift in anything without wheels, right? Bulldozers don't have wheels, they have tracks. So no, I don't think you can drift in a bulldozer. Well, if you're going fast enough, you might be able to drift in a bulldozer. Yeah? Maybe. I don't know, can tanks drift? I mean, tanks can get up to like 50 miles an hour, depending on the tank. That house wasn't... house was scheduled to be demolished anyway. And that car needed body work. That's still my excuse. Tanks go at 50 miles an hour. I don't think they can drift. I don't know. Has anyone ever tried? And that might just be crazy talk. Let's do random. Let's just go for a while. What the hell? I mean, it seems like something... I mean, we're talking about a vehicle that, you know, 20-year-olds get to go into. And 20-year-olds are really the target audience for drifting, right? I mean, you don't see many people in their 30s and 40s going, you know what I need to do? is learn how to drift in my car. No, it's going to be the younger guys who think they have nothing to lose, you know? I mean, they're wrong, but they don't know that. They think they're invincible. They're 18. What do they know? Although, to drive a tank, don't you need, like, a year or something of certification training? Something like that. So that means you're probably going to be at minimum 19 before you can drive a tank. Really, I see, that sounds wrong, because I think that first year, you're just going through basic, right? Well, not even... Well, actually, would it be basic? Basic training only takes, what? 3 months, 6 months, depending on various factors. And then whether or not you get picked for any special programs. So, okay, so let's say 6 months you go through basic. And that sounds like a huge amount of time to me, but let's just say that's true. So, okay, 6 months you go through basic. Another, let's say, year of certification training before you're allowed to get on a tank. Yeah, okay. I can't imagine it takes more than a year. I mean, tanks are manual transmission, so that's already going to be a problem. Especially for people that are mostly used to using automatic. Automatic's a big thing here in the States. Not as big a thing in most of the rest of the world, though. We're just going to keep crashing this pylon forever because we're stuck. There we go. So yeah, assuming they don't have any experience with manual transmission, that'll take them a little while. But I can't imagine them taking them more than, like, 2 months to get over that. And even that seems like ridiculous. It's probably going to be more like 2 weeks until they get over it. Okay, so 2 weeks of that, and then, then you get used to driving a manual. And then, it's no matter what function of the tank you're in charge of. I'm guessing driving the tank. But the thing is, when you're driving a tank, you have this little tiny porthole to look out of, and that's pretty much it. There's no side mirrors. You're really depending on the tank commander to tell you, where to go. You're just following the rules, or following the commands. But if the tank commander wanted to drift, could you do it? Could you do it? So, tanks don't, they do have brakes, but most tanks probably don't brake. They probably just, you rotate the tread on the opposite, in different directions in order to either slow your speed. Like, if you wanted to stop, you basically reverse tread direction. If you want to turn right, then your left tread moves a little bit faster than your right tread does, and then the reverse turn left. Makes sense, but But yeah, I don't know if it's possible to drift in a tank. I don't know if this is a tank. It could be a bulldozer. This is not a car, okay? The number of pylons we've run over, this is definitely not a car. It's not the steering wheel because it looks too weird to be a steering wheel, and it's not turning. It's not turning, it's not the steering wheel. And I'm pretty sure we're the one talking at the cars. I'm pretty sure that's how this is going. I'm going way too fast. Yep, there we go. It's okay, that pylon was going to be demolished anyway. And so was that one. That one, they were going to widen the road right here because that's just a smart thing to do. That house, that's okay. They were going to put in an expansion in the house, so it's fine. And that house too. Nobody was really going to live in that house anyway. Alright, so this is random mode. It's weird there's no finish line for this, but I guess we're just driving in the middle of the night for no reason. Or just to annoy the neighbors that were living in these houses and making sure that their babies can never get a decent night's sleep. Alright, so I think we're done. We're supposedly scored 110. So let's get out of this game forever. Alright, so that was Night Driver on the Atari Vault. I'm PC Universe, you're PC Universe too, and I'll see you guys next time.